What was the bottle that made you fall in love with tequila? It's kind of a tough question because a lot of us have had terrible experiences with tequila, especially when we were younger. We drank terrible tequila, and we all have a story, or two, or 20, right? So for me, I think I'd always had a passion for it. I was in bourbon for a while, but then I started getting into tequila some years ago. Back then, I didn't know what good tequila was. Today, I'm very thankful that I do know what good tequila is, and I try to share with others and my friends and anyone else who's wanting to listen about what real tequila is. The stuff with the additives is not something you want. I was at a liquor store today. A gentleman came up to me and said, "Hey, will you try this brand?" And I said, "I will never own that brand. It won't be in my home bar." And he looked at me and tried to kind of argue with me and get nasty with me. And I'm like, "Dude, it's garbage. I'm not going to drink it." So the bottle that really started my passion and my journey was my first bottle of additive-free tequila was a bottle of Don Fulano Anejo. I ran out of a bottle just recently, so I just opened this bottle tonight. It's a nice dark color. I'm not going to provide all details. You can go to their website and get all the details. They use a different type of, I think it's pronounced limousine. I don't know what it is. They use some different wood. They come from NOM 1146. There's some really good brands there. If you look on Tequila Matchmaker, you'll see like Tears of Lorna. I can't remember a couple others off the top of my head. Sierra, I think, is there. So that's the bottle that got me passionate. When I drank that the first time, I was like, wow. I was like, this is impressive. Now, again, I started off drinking añejos and extra añejos, and that's where I was for a while. Then I worked down to reposados, and now I pretty much drink blancos and high proofs most of the time. But that's just me. But I did want to go out because I always told my wife I'd never be without a bottle of Don Fulano Anejo, and I ran out and we went out and got another bottle. And you can see in the glass. I mean, it's a dark, rich color. It coats the glass well. It's really, it's just a beautiful looking collar, if you ask me. On the nose, you're going to get, you're going to get some wood, some oak. You're getting agave though, so you still get the agave even though it's an añejo. So a lot of añejos, they lose that agave flavor, that scent, and that so it gets lost sometimes, especially on stuff that's really aged heavily. But it's still there. You get some fruitiness, maybe some dried cherries, dark cherries. I mean, the wood's there, you get it, but it's not overpowering, at least to me. As far as taste goes, it's good. It's kind of dynamic and kind of changes, at least for me in my mouth when I drink it. It comes on kind of sweet, but you get a little bit of agave, then you get some of the wood, some of the oakiness, and then you can kind of get a little bit of almost like some lemon or something like that in the background, very mildly. Yeah, it's got like a little bit of minerality. I think their water source is a volcanic water source, or volcanic stream. Don't quote me on that, could be wrong, but Don Fulano is a special brand to me because they were the ones who started my journey, and I've always enjoyed their tequilas. My actual favorite tequila that Don Fulano makes is actually the Fuerte, which is the high proof Blanco. So if you ever get a chance to try that, it's great. I don't think it gets enough credit. It's a classic in my book. I love it. I always have a bottle of it back there. So again, if you haven't tried Don Fulano, any other bottles, definitely check them out. Worthwhile. That being said, make sure you follow me on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Have a good evening.